They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of this place.
Hey everybody, this is Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. Now this video is about BLM, Black Lives Matter, and how it's actually sad. How it's actually sad that Black Lives Matter is a brand over an actual legal and truthful thing. You see, the thing about the whole Black Lives Matter movement thing is you gotta look at who's leading. It's not the black men. It's not those that are strong in the community. It's actually weakness that's seeking to negotiate with the government here and there. Now, Black Lives Matter, man, it's become a brand. It's not a reality. And I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna explain to you why. It's a brand versus being a factual reality and an actual truth that it does matter. Here's the thing, Black lives don't matter to any of these. I'm gonna start off with the sport, the NBA, the NFL. I'm gonna stay focused on those. It doesn't matter to them. Because here's the thing, the NFL and the NBA together are worth trillions of dollars. If they wanted to, and I said this over 5 years ago, if the NBA and all of them wanted racism to end, they could do it in a day. They could do it, snap, they could do it, but they won't do it. The reason they won't do it is because they have too much to gain from Black lives not mattering. They have too much money to make off of black people that are, being targeted to a certain extent, being targeted and attacked and so on, and Black lives not mattering, where you're a citizen, you pay your taxes, then you get pulled over by the same people you're paying to work. You're actually funding their job, and then you're treated like a criminal. You know what I'm saying? Before anything, treated like a criminal and a threat, And what I'm saying, I got some friends in law enforcement in there, you know what I mean? But the thing is, the truth is this, man. As a black person, excuse me, you know what I mean? Black person, whenever you interact with the cops, man, you tend to maintain your distance, man. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about Black Lives Matter is, to these sport companies, it doesn't. NFL, NBA, MLB, it doesn't matter. They have enough money to lobby and get laws changed if they wanted to. But the thing is, they make so much money off of the black youth. You know what I'm saying? The black youth. And listen to this. Tell me you haven't heard this. A lot of black athletes always say this. This was my only option. This was my only way out. Think about that. Think about the power. I spend my whole life trying to play basketball, trying to play football, trying to play, I put my whole life into that and nothing else. Do you think a lot of black athletes would be, a lot of black men, would be putting their whole life into athleticism and sports? Of course, there's the broken family narrative, but that's another story. A lot of black men are born to single mother households, but that's another story. But do you think if black lives did matter, that a lot of these athletes will be here? And think about this. I think it's less than 1% of the athletes or so make it pro on the NFL or NBA. Less than 1% or something like that make it. And then think about the ones that didn't make it, which that's all they know. They might go to selling drugs. They might go to, doing other things that feed into the private prison industry. You know what I'm saying? They have too much money to make off of Black lives not really mattering. You know what I'm saying? They have too much money to make off of that. So a lot of these sport companies, they're loving it. They're loving Black Lives Matter. The NBA is loving the fact that to showcase that it supports black people, they just have to put a brand and a shirt on. They don't really have to put any money. They don't really have to lobby any politicians. They don't have to do anything. They just gotta wear a shirt that says, look, we're the NBA, Black Lives Matter. Coaches holding hands and all that. This is an organization that's worth hundreds of billions. If they wanted to, in 5 seconds, Black lives could matter. But the NFL, the NBA, the owners and all that, the amount of money they're making off of just supporting a brand and not actually meaning it, they love it. They loved it. This is the same NBA that kicked out Abdul Rauf, who was not pledging the allegiance during the basketball games in the 90s. Same NFL that kicked out Kaepernick, and even before then, same NFL that had black athletes in the 40s, 50s, and maybe, I'm not sure, and 40s and 50s that never put any money into actually making a social difference. It's just like the Jackie Robinson. I'm gonna tell you this, why I don't see Jackie Robinson as a hero. A lot of brainwashed black men and black people gonna disagree with me. The reason I don't see Jackie Robinson as a hero is this: you were playing for the Negro League, a league run by your people for your people. In all honesty, had the Negro League started allowing Irishmen to play and other people, and maybe they did. I gotta brush up on the history. Instead, you, Jackie Robinson, go to play for the MLB. MLB doesn't count any of your records from the Negro League. The MLB doesn't pay any respect to the Negro League for developing you and helping you reach your peak as a player. You joined them so you could play and receive some white validation from the MLB owners who told you. You can even watch the Jackie Robinson movie where they're cursing at him, calling him nigger and all this. And what is the MLB saying? Jackie, my boy, don't worry about them, Jackie. Don't worry about them, kid. Don't worry about them, Jackie. They're gonna call you nigger. They're gonna do this and that, Jackie. They're gonna burn your name. But Jackie, you keep playing. You play until you get their validation. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of the Jackie Robinson, you played in a lot of these athletes, a lot of black athletes like to say, well, man, they paved the way. They paved the way for us. You did? They paved the way. They didn't pave the way for nothing. They paved the way for you, for more of you to make the white owners of that football league, that basketball league, that baseball league more money. They just made it normal for you to play on their league so they can make more money. The NBA, the NFL, none of them, MLB didn't care about black people doing segregation. What in your mind would tell you they care about you now? You know what I'm saying? NFL, same thing. Had black football players since probably the 40s or 50s. I'm not 100% sure. Did they care then? Did they invest in lobbying and protecting and working out deals with the police and all that? You know what I mean? I wonder how many NFL players, when they got pulled over going in the 40s or 50s on their way to the game, that if the cops ain't recognized them as an athlete playing for the team, they didn't make it there. You know what I'm saying? The MLB, the NFL didn't care about black lives during segregation. You know what I'm saying? During before the civil rights. What would make you think they care now? That's why I say to me, When I hear a lot of black athletes, they paved the way. They paved the way for you to work for them, for more of y'all to work for them. You know what I'm saying? And then Jackie Robinson had to take his family there, risking their lives to go watch him play a game by a league that didn't support, didn't protect, they didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Black Lives Matter, and I know the MLB, I know they wished, NFL, I know they all wish there was a Black Lives Matter during the 40s, 50s, and before. 1800s, they would have loved to support a brand, not a political party, not a lobbying group. They love that. We just put a shirt that says Black Lives Matter, and you know, that means we really support y'all legally. They're supporting a brand. That's what they're supporting. You know what I'm saying? That's what's funny about it. They're supporting a brand, and then a bunch of you idiots, you know, a bunch of idiots go out there and pretend, oh, the NFL really cares about black lives. MLB really cares about black lives. The NBA really cares about black lives. NASCAR really cares about black lives. BS, man. If they're not supporting you politically or lobbying to get the job done, it's BS. The other thing is this, man. The other reason, you know, I'm gonna touch up on it on another video. You know, why black, I'm gonna do something called Why Black Lives Don't Matter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do another video soon on how all lives can matter. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do one of those. But you know, like I said, when it comes to these sports teams, man, black lives never mattered. It never has. Well, what was that iconic? It was the Olympics where, you know, where they had their fist up. They had their fist up in the Olympics. What did the Olympics do then? What did the Olympic community do for black lives? Well, what did they do on the political and legal aspect? You know what I'm saying? Did they drop certain vendors? Did they talk to the police or the legal statures to do anything? No, they didn't. Because when black lives don't matter, you have a consistent amount of athletes being bred. You have a consistent amount of athletes coming to play your sport with all, this is their only way out. They're thankful. They see this sport as God in their life. You know what I'm saying? So why would you ever want, as the NBA, as the MLB, as the NFL, why would you ever want black lives to really and truly matter when you're making so much money? Because here's the thing, if black lives truly did matter, guess what? The black people would have started their own league by then. You know what I'm saying? They would have said, damn, man, we 80% of the leagues anyway. Why not start our own, and then we could talk the way we want to talk? We don't got to wear these stupid suits after playing a game of basketball, which makes no damn sense. You just played a sport and you're going to put on a suit. It's retarded, man. It's stupid. You know what I mean? So to me, a lot of these sport organizations make too much money from black lives not truly matter. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like I said, the NBA, and in actuality, the NBA, what's funny about the NBA with the whole Black Lives Matter thing is the NBA actually hates black American players. You know what I'm saying? The NBA has gone out of its way to, because the NBA seeks to be like the MLB. The MLB has become an anti-American league. They don't like drafting American players. They like their teams to be filled with overseas athletes. You know what I'm saying? That's what the NBA did. When the NBA had the dream team, they didn't see that Michael Jordan, their top athletes in America, made the world watch. No, they saw, damn, we got all these athletes, all these people from overseas watching, we need them. That's why they're drafting Ricky Rubio at age 15 never went to school, but they're saying if you're a black American athlete, we don't want you unless you go to high school, unless you went to college. But if you're from Spain or if you're from Russia, like, what's his name playing for Dallas? I forget his name. You know what I'm saying? He was 15 playing pro. We don't want you Negroes. The NBA doesn't want American-born athletes anymore. Black or white, they don't want you. They want foreign players. They have all these players from overseas, and they're not the number one or top 10 jersey sales because the American public can't relate to them. The NBA is going to become, if the American players weren't so dominant, and you know, I'm going to do a video on why LeVar Ball, you know, changed the NBA. I'm going to do something like that. But the truth is this, the NBA, the NFL, MLB do not care about black lives at all. They didn't care during the 50s, 40s, you know what I'm saying, 20s. If they didn't care then, what makes you think they care now? They just love supporting a brand. Think about that. The NBA put on a shirt, Black Lives Matter. They printed out that shirt by themselves. What money did they donate to that Black Lives Matter? What checks and balances did they do to see that this is an actual, you know what I'm saying, organization that has black families in leadership and so on? They didn't do none of that. They just want to showcase they support a brand. That's why the ratings, you know, that's why the ratings are down the gutter when they do all that holding hands and wearing this shirt, Black Lives Matter to the NFL, Black Lives Matter to the NBA, Black Lives Matter to the MLB. The public isn't buying that BS. The public knows it's a lie because the public knows you don't lobby, you don't support any legal movements or nothing. The public knows this is nothing more than an ad campaign to make you look like you're inclusive and all that BS. None of these leagues give a damn about blacks, minorities. Some of these leagues, the MLB, the NBA, they hate American athletes. You know what I mean? They're anti-American. You know what I mean? The only American sport I'd say is probably, the NFL. You know, the NFL, the majority of their players are from America. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you know, I would have to do another video on the NFL. But the MLB and the NBA are anti-American sports. I'm going to do a video on that soon. But like I said, man, none of these sport organizations really care. You know what I mean? Plan to do some more videos on this type of subject matter. But this has been Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. Peace.
They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of